The reason the business needs an action plan, without an action plan, the business is going to be in a survival mode. What does it mean to be in a survival mode? It could be profitable. However, it doesn't know how to actually change, how to course correct. And instead of be focused on growth, it's always going to be thinking what to do next. So I'm going to distinguish between three types of businesses. The first one would be a business plan. Business plan is the most common term when talking about the business world. The business plan is a virtual plan that actually tells us where we want to get to, our vision, and we need it to actually know, are we building a skyscraper or are we building a villa? The second would be a recovery plan, and that would be a business that actually got into difficult times and needs to get out of the mud. Both plans are necessary, but I'm going to be about an action plan. An action plan is required in order to break down our goals and objectives into day-to-day operations. It's going to help us get the momentum going. And it's going to help us in actually knowing how to course correct real quickly. And for that, I'm going to do it in 5 steps. 5 easy steps how to create an action plan that's going to help you get to your objective and goals very easily. The first step is setting an exact time and quantity of what you want to get. For instance, I want to get $10,000 till the 31st of March 2021. Why I'm talking about an exact time and quantity? If you don't have exact time and quantity, you can't manage it. Drucker said it once, if you can't quantify it, if you can't measure it, it's not going to be manageable. So all business schools are talking about actually having an exact time and exact quantity. Also, if you've got more than one office, more than one place when you do business, also you have to put the place, the geographical place where you're going to have that action. The second step, putting it on a timeline. Putting it on a timeline means that you have to break down into milestones. For instance, if I want to run a 5K till the 31st of December 2020, I'm going to put milestones that by the 31st of August 2020, I'm going to run 1 mile. And by the 30th of September, I'm going to run 2. Once I break it down into milestones, it's going to provide you some motivation and actually show me how easy I can get to those milestones. Instead of looking at something huge, I can't climb that mountain. I can't do it because it's so big. It's a huge task. Break it down into small steps allows me to know what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. The third stage, once I broke down to the milestones, the third stage is actually writing down all the actions that I can do. And I'm going to do it freestyle. The reason I'm telling you that you have to put down a list of all the actions that you think are going to get you there, it doesn't mean that you're actually going to do it, but write whatever comes into mind. And the reason I'm saying write whatever comes into your mind freestyle is that when people start to think, well, is that action going really to get me when I want to? Is that action really going to help me get to my goal? Most people, once we start think whether it's going to be helpful or not, say, well, it's not, and actually delete it. And I think the first thing, write down whatever comes into mind. And the thing is that it has to be achievable in the sense that you can actually do it. For instance, if you say, well, I'm going to post 10 posts over Facebook, that's achievable. But if you say, well, I'm going to buy time over the TV commercial for $1 million an airtime and you don't have money for that, well, you can't really do it now. And if you can't really do it now, that's not an action you want to put in your list. After you put down all the things that you think and you can do right now, the fourth step would be putting it in a timetable. timetable, very similar to what your kids are doing, a curriculum, an agenda, what you're actually doing each day. And that you do for 1 week, 2 weeks in advance. Most people do it for 1 week in advance. And the fifth step is actually at the end of in the end of each week, look at all the actions that we did. Look at the results we got and ask ourselves, are we at the result that we wanted to get to? Is that result the same as our goal? Are we at the same, is it equal? Or are we above it? Are we under it? Did we do everything we set out to do? Are we in full integrity as far as doing all the actions they wanted to? And what's remaining is correct either the goal or the amount of actions that we're supposed to take, or the quality of actions, meaning we're going to talk about marketing in the next clip. So for instance, we did a lot of marketing actions, but we got no leads. So it's not about just not doing more actions, actually changing something. It's really something as far as, for instance, our message in a post, for instance. Follow us on our YouTube channel or our website to get more clips and more wonderful information that actually how to create the business you are entitled to.